Hi guys, I'm Prasanna Chatterjee from Alien Brains, and today I'm going to show you how to implement infinite scrolling in React Native. Now let's see what infinite scrolling is. So what infinite scrolling is, you must have used it many ways. So the most famous example of infinite scrolling is Facebook. Yes, if you ever used a Facebook in application, of course you would have. Uh, in mobile phones, so you must have noticed that you can keep on scrolling posts and keep on scrolling and keep on scrolling, and it again renders the new post, and again you get new post about something else, or you again get the previous post, but it keeps you can keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling infinitely. So you can keep on scrolling. So that's what infinite scrolling is. So it's an application where you can it gets new data whenever you reach certain thresholds of data in this list. So the things that the thing that I've implemented here. So the thing that I've implemented here, as you can see, so it's basically a simple list of Pokemons, and so what I've done is I've taken the API Pokemon API and I've used it. So what this does is simply it's an infinite list of Pokemon, and it is like the first its image and the name of the Pokemon. And what's the advantage of this infinite scrolling part is you don't have to actually render all there are in total list of I don't know how many Pokemons there can be, 1,000 Pokemon list here. But what's the advantage of implemented it this way, an infinite scrolling way, is you don't have to render all the Pokemons at the same time. So you don't have to fetch 1,000 elements, which will take a huge load on your mobile data, and if it's very slow, then it's gonna take a very long time to load the complete data of all the Pokemons. Okay, so what I've done is whenever first initially there would be 20 Pokemon datas, and whenever we reach a certain threshold of this Pokemon, we are gonna then again render next 20 Pokemon. So that way we don't have to actually fetch all the Pokemon list at a time. We can do it by 20 or 10 or whatever amount of elements you want to render initially. Okay, now let's look into the code, how I've implemented in React Native. So let's start with app.js. Whenever you create a simple React Native project, you will have an app.js file, and what I've done in this app.js file is I've simply taken a view. So what in case of React Native, what view is to React Native, and that is div is to HTML. So how its view is exactly the same as the div in HTML. Okay, so the view in here is basically this view that we are seeing, this screen view. Okay, and what I've done is I've imported this Pokemon component that I've placed it in the folder sources under components and Pokemon.js. Okay, so this is the main part which where all the things takes place. So I have taken two states, as you can see, PokeList, that's gonna render the Pokemon's 20 Pokemons at a time, and the limit is 20, as you can see. So what are the things that I've used here are simply I've only used a view and a flat list. Okay, so let's look in component did mount, what I've done in component did mount. Okay, so in component did mount, as you have seen, I said I have used an API to fetch the data of Pokemon, this Poke API. Okay, and I've added a limit of 20, that 20 Pokemons are only gonna, the first 20 Pokemons are gonna fetch, not all the Pokemons. So I've taken this fetch and I've put as usually we do, I've put in it returns a promise, and I'm resolving that promise, and it again returns a promise which we get the final data of. So but you must have been seeing that there are two dot thens, so 1 2, and there is again 1 2, so in total 4 dot then, and let me explain why I'm needing this. So if only if gonna take let's copy paste, let me see what happens, what the result we get in only 2 dot thens. So data, and let me console log this data. Okay, So as you can see, I've done console.log, and in React Native, when you're using emulator, the thing that you can do to get the console to see the console.log properly, what you can do is you can uh, press Ctrl M, and you see here you will get an option for uh, debug. Okay, so if you click on debug, what it does is it simply opens up a browser, this thing. Okay, so what it does, it opens up this React Native debugger, and what you can do is you can go to the console in here, and you can simply check whatever is getting console log. So as you can see, running Pokemon apps in here. Okay, so I have done what I've done is I've console.log data. Fine, so let's reload this application and see what I'm getting. Okay, so related, as you can see, I have gotten, sorry, so this is the object that I'm getting from, as you can see, Pokemon.js line number 29, and line number 29 is this fetch statement. Okay, so as you can see, result, the result, it returns an result. There are in total 964 Pokemons, so it's pointless to load all the Pokemons at a time. It's gonna take a huge amount of time, so I've only taken 20 Pokemons at a time. So these are the 20 Pokemons that it's fetching at a time. So okay, so this is the array as I put limit 20. So as you can see, the thing is that I don't get the data of the Pokemon here. What I get is in only the name and the URL of the Pokemon. So to fetch that image and other properties of the Pokemon, what I have to do is I have to take this URL and again fetch from this URL to get the data for the Pokemon. So that's what I've done here. As you can see, I have taken the result and I am using for each, and for each of these elements, as you can see, it has each one of them as an URL. So I'm simply fetching again on that URL, and again which the data that I'm getting. So let's look into what the data I have a console log here as well. So this is what we get when we console.log this data that we are getting, the final data of each and every Pokemon. So let's see what the data has. It has as you can see, the moves that the Pokemon has and the species that it's Venusaur, and the sprites. So what I've taken is this sprites to take the fetch this images of this each and every Pokemon. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken this front default, and let's see if I take this. Okay, and see, we are getting the image of the Pokemon just like here. Okay, so this is the image that I've used to show the Pokemons, and the name I've also the name I've taken from species dot name. Fine, so this is the thing that is getting returned when I'm console logging the data. And what I'm doing is I simply for each of the element I'm adding it to this Pokélist. So 20 elements are getting added to this Pokélist initially on the first component. When the completion the component get mounted and get rendered first on initial render. So but let's look into what I've done in the flat list. So what flatlist does, it works similar to as what we do in map function. Okay, so what flatlist does, it has many properties that we can use. So just like any list, flatlist, as the name suggests, it's a list, and it can have a sections which we can render, different sections and different items that we can render. So what I've done is I've taken a data. So it takes then parameter called data, and what you're gonna put in this data is this array. So this Pokélist array, I'm gonna just feed it into the flat list. So whenever if the component first get rendered, this flat list get filled with this 20 Pokélist list of 20 Pokemons. Okay, and the next thing is this render item. So what render item does is it's similar to when you use map function. and do map dot this item, you get each item from there, and it's similar to that. So if you want to map this thing, each and every element you can map, you want to map, you can do it in render item. So as you can see here, there is a view, and this view is this one. Okay, and then there is the image, that is this. So as you can see, I've taken that image dot sprite dot front default that I have shown you from here, as you can see. So there is the sprite, and there is the front default of that each and every Pokemon, and then there is the item, that is the Pokemon.species.name, fine, and that is getting rendered here. So we are getting that view, this image, and the name of the Pokemon, and that is the each item of the flat list. So there are first initially there are such 20 items in that list. Okay, next the thing is like show vertical scroll indicator. As this this does is, let's say if I turn it to true, okay, what it does is, wait, the app hasn't rendered yet. Let me re-render the app. Okay, so as you can see, a scroll bar is getting added. As you can see, a visible scroll bar is getting added, so you can now see the scroll bar, right? So you can now see where is the scroll bar and the local position of the scroll bar. So what I don't want to see the scroll bar. Okay, so what I've done is I've simply turned it to false, so that flat list would have no scroll bar in it. Okay, now the main part is to implement the infinite scroll. So to implement the infinite scroll, we have used this two properties of flat list, that are on end reached threshold and on end reached. So let me explain that on end reached. What it does is, so as you can see that flat list has 20 elements initially. So what it does, it whenever it reaches the end of the flat list, it calls this function on end reached and renders whatever inside this function. Okay, and then again re-renders the flat list. Fine. So what I have done in this end reach is, so what I have done in this end reach is, on end reached is, as you can see, I have increased the limit, which was initially 20. I have simply increasing the limit to 40. So I am increasing the limit by 20 each time the end is reached for the flat list. And in the callback of this set state, what I am doing is again fetching this Pokemon API. But in this case, what I'm doing is, I am adding an offset. So what I'm doing, it's gonna fetch 20 elements only, but it's gonna fetch with an offset of this 40. So it's gonna fetch the next 20 elements. So that's what it's gonna do. Okay, so it's not gonna again render the first 20, it's gonna render the next 20 Pokemons. So you're not gonna get repetitive data of the Pokemons. Okay, and I'm simply doing is this set state and adding the new Pokemons into this PokeList, and again this flat list is rendered. And as you can see, if I scroll down, I get new element after a limit is reached. Okay, so after a limit, this is the limit, so loads and it again, so this is the limit and it's again loads, and again we get new data. Fine, so that's how it works. And now the next point is on end reach threshold. So many of the times you would want that why only whenever the end reached I want to fetch the data. I want to fetch the data on a certain threshold of the images or the flat list is already covered, then I want to fetch the data. So what on end reach threshold does is it detects at what the percentage is the flat list covered. So suppose this complete screen is 1. Okay, so I wanna call this on end reach function when 0.8 of the or 80% of the flat list is covered. Okay, so what it does is whenever I have viewed 80% of the flat list, it calls this on end reach function of flat list, and again gets the new Pokemons and adds to the PokeList. So by this way I don't have to again render when I have reached the end. Rather, I can again get the new data at a certain threshold of the flat list. Okay, and I've put it to 0.8. Fine. So this way you can implement infinite scrolling, and you can simply create your applications like Facebook if you want to create, or you want to create an application like Instagram, or you can create this simple Pokemon Pokédex app where you can just scroll and check this Pokemons, and you can also add the data for the Pokemons that I haven't added it yet, but you get all kind of data like the moves, or the moves for the Pokemon, and all that kind of things, right? So you can add it, and on click you can add it here. So that's how you're gonna implement a simple infinite scrolling in React Native. Thank you for watching this video.